real world famous. Like I was on Fox News, but Gonky got us an entire article.
Yeah, but
for himself.
I did this because somebody had lost his voice. Not gonna say any names,
dude. I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk. I called you. I'm like, hey, can you do this for me?
Can you talk to this guy? I was like, oh no, this is how I get arrested.
Felt so bad. Thursday was when it hit, and then it got progressively worse until yesterday. So I appreciate you jumping on that grenade. But anyway, Forbes has an article called 5 Things That Happened in 2023. The Fighter Pilot's Quick Take. And if you know Gonky, there's no such thing. So here's the problem, Gonky. They got your name right.
I know.
You're not Rod Hardstock or Gronky. You're actually your actual name here.
There's no getting out of this one, man.
And they got everything right about the Malaysian Air Force, Boeing, Air Force Reserve.
It's all there.
He even name drops this guy named cwlemoine over here.
I didn't say cwlemoine. I said Mover.
Why am I a fellow former fighter pilot? Aren't we always fighter pilots forever?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, that's not fair. But anyway, he says the past year has provided a wealth of news to choose from, much of which I've also written. So we got his thoughts. Gonky's waded in.
You're so enjoying this, man. This is great.
I love it, dude. I love it.
This is great.
So Gonky weighed in on the most controversial topic of 2023.
Whoa. I got asked these questions. I didn't weigh in on nothing. I got asked.
So what do you think about the F-16s going to Ukraine? No, he says, drawing an analogy between the Ukraine war and the U.S. involvement in World War II. Dude, you're a historian. You know things.
Well,
it reminds me of the run up to World War II. Tell me more.
I'm not that old.
We didn't get involved. We supplied Britain with weapons and airplanes via Lend-Lease. Did you really quote the Lend-Lease Act of 1941? Look at that. Doug would be so impressed with you right now. He'd be like, Gonky's smart.
Yeah,
it's a worthy historical point, and Hartsock adds that the results were mixed. A likelihood in the case of the F-16s to Ukraine. Here come the hate comments. I don't see in any short-term picture where giving the Ukrainians F-16s is going to make much of a difference. It took the Navy 3 years to train me up to combat flight leader. So
that's a true statement.
How long it took the Navy to transition Gonky to a flight lead is why the Ukrainian thing is never going to work.
No, my point was it takes time to train pilots, maintainers.
So
it takes time to put the logistics in place. It takes time.
Because the Navy took me 3 years, then these guys have no chance.
Don't you twist this out of context, Moober.
That's exactly what I'm here to do, sir.
Dude.
Nonetheless, he agrees that the Ukrainian Air Force is highly motivated, and that the Spectre, it's from the books, of the Ukrainian... the F-16's Ukrainian sky further dims the latitude for Russian freedom of action over its territory. Dude, that is smarter than what I would have said. I don't know anything about Lend-Lease.
So that last bit there, those weren't my exact words, but he took my 3rd grade English and made it sound a little more. So
he gave you.
He gave you brains.
So I guess what I would have said was, if they had asked me, which thankfully you took that bullet.
Now that your voice is back, let's hear it.
I would just say what you said, the Lend-Lease Act or something. And but I would also add that it's a morale boost, because, you've already got these, we've seen in the news where they're talking about, well, the F-16 shot down 3 flankers, which is not true, by the way, but it has come out. So you're already getting this folklore, just like we got with the Ghost of Kiev.
Oh yeah.
They love that. And the morale boost of, hey, we've got international support, we've got newer jets, we're getting some help. That there's something to be said about the morale and just the feeling of support, as well as the increased capability of now they can shoot harms. Now they can actually do a seed mission, because right now I think they're throwing harms on the MiG-29, but it has it doesn't talk to anything. It's just the missile does what the missile does. So having the increased capability is great, but I agree with you. I mean, this is not something that happens overnight. I mean, they're still going to need to be trained, which they are. They are getting trained, and I think contractors are currently training them out in, Poland or something.
Is it going to help? Yes. How much? I don't think a whole lot at the beginning, but I mean, that's just my thoughts.
All right, let's see what else you had to say, because that was one of 5. Fat Amy goes missing, dude. Did you just make Fat Amy mainstream?
Well, it's pretty widely used in the actual force. We definitely don't say panther.
One of the biggest popularly reported incidents of the year was the September crash of the Marine F-35, even with a viral ask for public assistance. I remember that. Hartsock and Lemoine, he threw me in there too, whimsically refer to the F-35 as Fat Amy, a nickname in use inside the military, which refers to the stealth fighter's weight and thick fuselage, which wags have compared to... Wags?
Is that Wags? In there?
Wags have compared to the Fat Amy character portrayed by actress Rebel Wilson in the Pitch Perfect film series. Gonky says they're trying to figure out whether flight procedures need to change. Do they need changes in the F-35B software or hardware? We had a Super Hornet crash in my Navy squadron. I've been involved in a couple of these mishap investigations. I've been that guy assigned to a case. What are you, Dick Tracy?
How else would you say it?
I don't know. I just think it's hilarious. It can be frustrating when speculation gets out. It can undermine your work. I understand why they're tight-lipped about it, but we will find out what happened. I just don't know when. Here we go. Truth. This is the one that gets Gonky sued. The MiG-23 whose backseater punched. Hartsock, who was flown and instructed in 2-seat Hornets and Super Hornets, says the apparent confusion over the need to eject in the decision-making is eyebrow-raising. Pete, who's smarter than both of us, says a wag is like a wit. So that's actually just a word, not wags. My take on it is that the backseater who did an interview on YouTube shortly after the accident raises some red flags, he says. Number one, he's out speaking about it right away on the YouTube. Red flag number 2 is that he remembers everything in his account of the accident. But when they ask him if he was the one who pulled the ejection handle, he can't remember. I've never ejected from a plane, but I grabbed the handle once because I thought I was going to have to. I clearly remember that decision because my life passed before my eyes.
Yes.
Did your life include this? Was the Mover and Gonky show flashed in front of you?
No, because the Mover and Gonky show had not yet evolved.
So it's just old stuff. It's not future stuff when your life flashes in front of your eyes.
I clearly remember grabbing the handle. I mean, I can't see how this guy would be like, I remember absolutely every detail about this flight except
time
me
compression.
ejecting us.
Yeah, time compression.
Yeah, they did.
Okay. Him not speaking speaks volumes. Ooh. Alliteration.
Yeah, the pilot, yeah.
Alliteration? No. All right, so the B-21. We said, what does Gonky know about that?
Not a lot.
Are bombers back? Are we in a throwback age wherein the bomber will always get through? As was the mid-1930s cliche? I asked Hartsock. I don't think they ever left.
It's true.
It's the friends you made along the way. A bomber has its place like a tanker or a fighter plane. I believe there's always a time and place for a straight B-52. Any offensive or defensive use of an asset like that is going to be in concert with other tactical layers. But it sounds like a very capable plane. Sure has capabilities we haven't even realized yet. Hey, you just said that earlier.
I did?
Yeah, one of the previous things about how, if it's out, you don't know. Remember? We're talking about something.
Maybe, probably.
You never listen, Gonky. All right, Tomcats.
Oh,
Iranian Tomcat escorts Putin. Is this the worst one?
I thought we were joking.
What, about the Tomcat thing?
No.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Have you not read this article, Gonky?
I did read it, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I enjoyed the interview.
Comment, dude. I'm not going to read it, but that's funny. Oh, boy. Here's what he said. Stand by for the hate mail. I think that was probably the only up airplane they had that day. The good old Grumman Ironworks F-14. They probably urinated in the gas tank. It lit off, and they were like, "Let's go."
Strangely, that is something I would say. So I cannot deny that.
So close. Why, Gonky? Why?
You know why? Because somebody lost their voice. I don't do well when you put the mic in front of me.
Man, that's awesome.
And I
there
did
are
say
no cats in
said,
America.
Yeah.
If I was Putin, I'd be laughing about that, Hardstock says. He didn't say Hardstock. He should have, though. The Iranians' ability to keep the venerable Tomcats flying is oddly impressive, he adds, though he points out that keeping an airplane flying and keeping it mission capable are two different things. When I was an active duty Hornet guy, we dove into the Iranian Tomcat capability. Oh boy, here comes the jail. It was pretty much no different than what you see today. What was super high tech in 1972 might be reproducible today with a 3D printer and an iPhone. Gonky, you don't know anything about 3D printing or iPhones.
I do too. I don't know anything about iPhones.
Yeah, they're magical to you. As to whether he would consider taking a seat in the cockpit, Gonky didn't say, though he sympathized with the Tomcat Iranian crews. I'm not sure they have a choice. They're probably told to fly and they go fly. That's awesome, dude.
I don't know, man. I was just trying to help out. Mover lost his voice. The guy, he was, I can't remember his name. Super nice guy. Eric, yeah. He's very knowledgeable on military aviation, and it's fun to talk to. So I enjoyed it.
So we need to talk to Wags about getting the Tomcat pee in the gas tank mod for an extra 3,000 pounds of thrust aside.
Probably should have said, okay, off the record, this is what I think actually
You're never
happened.
off the record. You're always on the record. That's funny, dude. That is
off button's not working.
Your off button's not working. The off button's not
stuck on. This is wild.
OFF. No, Gonky, I'm gonna give you credit. That was a good interview. Good job. It was good. No, it was good. I liked it. I thought that the thing about the Ukrainian thing was smart. Lend-Lease Act. I mean, that's super knowledgeable about the things. The thing about B-21s, about bombers. Yeah, those are things. And then the other things you said, like, great.